In this video, I will discuss the hidden struggles that many women with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD suffer. I'm Professor Shinaya Rathod, a psychiatrist in the United Kingdom. I post interesting videos weekly on my YouTube channel, so please don't forget to subscribe and you will not miss out on the next one. Why am I like this? This is a feeling more common than we realize. Let me tell you a scenario I hear many times in my day-to-day practice. A woman rushes to the door, already running late, only to realize she has forgotten her keys. Again, she heads back inside only to get distracted by a pile of papers that had to be sent urgently, washing needing to be taken out of the machine that she had forgotten about, and a cup of coffee she left in the microwave an hour ago. 20 minutes later, she is still at home, overwhelmed, frustrated, and wondering, why can't I just get it together like everyone else? For many women with ADHD, this isn't just an occasional mishap, it's a daily reality. But because their struggles don't fit the stereotypical image of a hyperactive, disruptive person bouncing off the walls, their ADHD often goes unnoticed or misdiagnosed for years. Instead of getting help, they are often told they are lazy, forgetful, emotional, or just not trying hard enough. More than others telling them anything, they themselves live with guilt and a feeling that they just cannot get it right. Historically, there has been a myth that ADHD is a boy thing. It has long been thought of as a disorder that mainly affects boys. The classic signs, hyperactivity, impulsivity, and an inability to sit still are what people recognize. But girls with ADHD often look completely different. They may not be the kid disrupting the classroom, but instead they are quiet, daydreamers, staring out of the window, lost in their own thoughts. Or they are that hardworking student who spends hours on homework but still misses deadlines because she forgot to write them down. Many girls learn to mask their symptoms, forcing themselves to appear organized and in control even when their minds feel like a web browser with 50 tabs open at once. This is why ADHD in women often goes unnoticed until adulthood, sometimes only diagnosed when their own children are assessed for ADHD. So what does ADHD actually look like in women? ADHD in women isn't just about being scatterbrained or easily distracted. It affects their emotions, relationships, self-esteem, and even their physical health. So let's discuss some of the most common struggles that women with ADHD can suffer. Firstly, the overwhelmed fog of inattention. Have you ever walked into a room and forgotten why you were there, or read the same sentence 5 times because your mind drifted elsewhere? Women with ADHD experience chronic forgetfulness, zoning in and out of conversations, and have constant distractions. Simple tasks like remembering to reply to a text or turn off the stove can become daily battles. Take the example of Sarah, who loves her job, but she constantly forgets meetings and deadlines. She sets reminders, writes things down, and still ends up apologizing for missing something important. Over time, she starts doubting herself, thinking, maybe I'm just not smart enough for this job. Secondly, emotional whirlwinds and rejection sensitivity. Women with ADHD often feel emotions more intensely and deeply than others. A small comment from a friend can feel like a personal attack. A minor mistake at work can spiral into hours of self-loathing. Many struggle with rejection sensitivity dysphoria, where even imagined criticism can feel crushing. The fear of disappointing others makes them people pleasers, constantly saying yes when they really want to say no. Let me tell you about Emily, who texts her friend and doesn't get a response immediately. Instead of assuming they are busy, her mind jumps to the worst case scenario. Did I say something wrong? Had I missed their text previously? I do have a habit of missing texts. Are they mad at me? Do they even like me? This often leads to overthinking and then to anxiety and self-doubt. Third is the shame spiral of not being good enough. Years of struggling with focus, time management, and forgetfulness can lead many women to believe they are simply not good enough. They see other women juggling work, family, and social lives effortlessly while they feel like they are barely keeping their heads above water. They often develop low self esteem and anxiety, constantly comparing themselves to others. They may feel like failures even when they are doing their best. I met Maria, who spends hours trying to clean her home but ends up jumping from task to task, leaving everything half finished. When her partner gets home, they don't see her effort, just a messy house. Maria came to me feeling so guilty and overwhelmed, convinced she is bad at being an adult. Number 4, impulsivity and risk taking behaviors. Now, while women may not display the same kind of hyperactivity as men, impulsivity is still a major struggle. Now, this can show up in impulsive shopping or binge eating or risky relationships or saying things without thinking. Women with ADHD also tend to have more risky sexual behavior, sometimes using relationships for validation, struggling with boundaries, or making impulsive decisions they later regret. Let me tell you about Aisha, who meets someone new and instantly falls for them. Within weeks, she is emotionally invested, ignoring the red flags. When the relationship falls apart, she's left heartbroken, wondering why this keeps happening to her again and again. Number 5, the ADHD hormone connection. What many people don't realize is that ADHD symptoms in women change with hormonal fluctuations. Since estrogen affects dopamine levels, symptoms worsen during the premenstrual period, pregnancy, postpartum, and menopause. Take the example of Jane, who feels sharp and focused during the first half of her menstrual cycle. But in the week before her period, she becomes forgetful, overwhelmed, and emotional. She blames herself, not realizing hormones are playing a huge role. So why is ADHD in women often misdiagnosed? Well, the ADHD symptoms in women often look like anxiety or depression. On many occasions, they can be depressed or anxious because the underlying ADHD has got them into this overwhelming spiral of inability to cope. Another reason is society's expectations. Women are expected to be organized, nurturing, and responsible. When they struggle with executive functioning, they often blame themselves instead of realizing that their brain is wired differently. But the good news is that ADHD is manageable. The first step is understanding that ADHD is not a flaw. It is a different way of thinking. Many women with ADHD can be creative, empathetic, and incredibly resourceful. With the right support, whether it is therapy or medication or lifestyle changes, they can thrive. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. The first step is recognizing and supporting those who have been struggling in silence. If you've enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to my channel. The more subscribers I have, the more YouTube gives me the ability to make more creative videos. Like it, share it, tell it. Tell it to all the people you know. And thank you for watching.